Today, we're checking out Armor Detail Supply Xylane glass coating versus Adams Polish's graphene glass coating. We're going to be going through these products, talking about how to install these, and we're going to be doing a long-term test on these to see how well they last and to see which one is truly worth your money. Welcome back to the channel, and let's jump into it. Well, if you guys haven't been following the long-term coating series, we are doing 3 separate coating videos on this and lots of ceramic coatings on my brand new Kia EV6 behind me here. The first video I posted, we took 4 different ceramic coatings and coated all of the wheels. The next video I posted was fully correcting, fully polishing, and fully ceramic coating all of my Kia EV6 paint with 10 different ceramic coatings. So currently we've got 14 different ceramic coatings on here, and we're about to add 2 more. Now, glass coatings, in my impression, are absolutely essential to have on your vehicle. There is absolutely nothing worse than having streaky glass, having smeared glass, or just driving down the road in a rainstorm, in a snowstorm, and not being able to adequately and properly see out of your glass. It becomes a real safety hazard. So that's why installing something like a glass coating that above 30, 40 miles an hour is going to make it feel like Star Wars. All of that rain coming off your glass. Really, if you're at high speeds, you're not going to be using your wipers all that much. So I have taken Adams graphene glass coating and used it for many years. It's a very simple, very straightforward install, but I really wanted to check out Armor Detail Supply's glass coating over here because I've started to get into their line a little bit more and have been really impressed by their stuff. So we actually have 3 different ADS coatings on this vehicle: their wheel coating, their quartz coating, and their pro quartz coating. So let's make it a 4th here with their glass coating. Now, what we're going to go through here is talk about the pricing of these, a little bit of specs, some durability claims on these. Then we're actually going to install them. So we're going to take half of the glass on my EV6, coat it with Armor Detail Supply. The other half of the glass, we're going to coat it with Adams glass coating here. So without further ado, let's get into it. So starting over here with Adams graphene glass coating. Now, first thing I'll tell you right off the bat, I'm not a big fan of buzzwords and marketing hype like graphene, but what I can tell you is this ceramic coating for your glass is actually really darn impressive. It's a very economical price. A 30 milliliter bottle retails right at $39.99. You can get mini vehicles out of these, so not only one windshield, you can do all the glass and probably a whole nother car with only a single bottle here. So it's very economical, very straightforward. Now, Adams only claims 9 to 12 months of durability or 10,000 miles here with their glass coating. Of course, the windshield is going to take the brunt of that, but it seems pretty reasonable for a relatively low price. Moving over here to Armor Detail Supply's glass coating, they claim this is a Xylane glass coating. Now, some really interesting stuff going on here. It is a little bit more expensive, $54.99 for a 30 ml bottle. They claim about 10 milliliters per vehicle. I'm not sure if that's only the windshield, the whole car. I would kind of assume it's the whole car. Really looking at both of these products, they relatively install exactly the same way. Very straightforward. There's no cure time on these. So they actually recommend on both of these coatings doing 2 layers on the windshield, 1 on the rest of the car. So you basically install it right after. You can install a second layer. I don't know. We're going to do that. I think it's very much worth it. Now, this coating over here, they claim 2 years or 80,000 wipes on your front windshield and up to 3 years durability on your side windows. This also has crazy pH resistance in it, between 0 and 13 pH resistance, which is something that I always think is really important to have, because a lot of us, if we live in Colorado, we've got mag chloride, salt brine on the road, all of that nasty dirt and grime. And then also, we're washing our car with alkaline-based pre-washes. It's essential that we're not completely destroying our ceramic coatings with the chemicals we're trying to actually clean our car with. So quickly want to talk about also what these come with. Well, Adams glass coating comes with nothing, just the 30 milliliter bottle here. Now, I prefer to use the Auto Fiber Mini Savers over here. So essentially this is a microfiber applicator with a little hydrophobic barrier underneath in between that and the foam. Basically, so you're not just wasting coating, getting it sucked into the foam applicator. Over here, Armor Detail Supply, pretty much the same thing, except it actually comes with the applicator. And Fun fact, they use my favorite applicators. That's how I know I love these guys, and they color coordinate it to it here. So you get your 30 ml bottle, your applicator, and you also get this nice little pamphlet here that's going to walk you through exactly how to install it. Now, what I've already done on this vehicle, I have gone through, I have fully washed, I've decontaminated the entire car, including the glass. I've gone through and clayed it. I've also gone through and machine polished all of the glass. So it should be squeaky clean, ready to go. I've also used a panel prep spray. I used Geon prep on this. Ceramic coatings are only as good as your prep. So if you're not cleaning your glass properly, if you're not decontaminating it, clay barring it, or even polishing it, you probably need to do so, otherwise your coatings aren't really gonna last that long. So very straightforward video here. I'm gonna put a tape line down the front of the windshield. We're gonna coat one side with Armor Detail Supply, the other side with Adams, compare the two, and then we'll see the long-term test results as this car ages. So on our passenger side, we'll be using Adams graphene glass coating over here. So what you're gonna need, of course, gloves. Glove in my case here. But always when we're ceramic coating vehicles, always wear gloves, always a big deal. So we've got our applicator here, we've got our first level towel and our final wipe off towel. Now I like to just use Costco microfibers here, picks up this glass coating great, and then you just toss them after you're done. So these are single use, ready to go. Now always you wanna make sure you shake your ceramic coating here, and then we're going to pour a healthy amount, kind of do 3 basically lines, exactly like Armor Detail Supply. Now there is no real right way or wrong way to do this. You can kind of do it however you see fit. What you're trying to do is get a nice, even, consistent layer here. So you can border it, you can tee it, you can use circular motions, whatever the heck you want to do. You can cross hatch it if you'd like, you can single do it if you'd like. Once it's on the glass, it's immediately bonded. Exactly like Armor Detail Supply, very straightforward, very easy to use. So I'm gonna apply a little bit more to do this top section here. Always recommend doing about half a pane of glass at a time on the windshield, unless you're doing a full pane of glass on the side windows. Then that's pretty straightforward, easy to use. Keep missing that little section. Boom, we're just gonna cross hatch this. And there's no waiting time. There's no fuss, no mess with this. So I'm gonna come back over here. I'm going to grab my first level towel, and you're gonna work in circular motions. You're basically gonna see your first wipe, you're gonna get 99% of it. That is the beauty with this glass coating. It is very slick, non-tacky. That's exactly what I like to have. Always fold your towels into quarters here. That way you essentially have 8 sides. So you can take that one towel instead of just, taking a single side of it, putting your hand in the middle. That's how you get a bunch of streaks. This stuff is almost idiot proof. Almost. I mean, somebody could mess this up. You'd have to be trying though. It's a very, very straightforward process to do. So I'm going to continue wiping this off here. Flip. Make sure you get all of your edges good. Then lastly here, I'm gonna come with my second towel, nice and slick coating here. And this is just gonna pick up any of the remainder. Also, if you keep this in a quarter, you can have a nice little pinpoint like this. You can really work it into these areas so you're not leaving coating high spots. Coating high spots are essentially, if you just leave a big piece of coating unwiped, it fully cures. Can be a little bit of a pain to get off depending on said ceramic coating. Now, of course, get under the wipers here. Don't worry about that. Just for demonstration purposes, this is how you install it, and boom, we are good to go. Show you one more quick demo on a darker side window here so you can see. I like to do a nice in here, get my borders, make sure I'm getting all of that. We can fill this in. Then, if you'd like to, cross hatch this, boom, up and down. Very, very straightforward, easy coating to use. Now, if you are wanting to do a second layer, which is recommended on both of these coatings on the windshield, you can do it immediately. So there is no waiting around. You can immediately do it. And then, boom, we're just gonna come in. See again how that nice little tip in there, I can get it right up into the edges, making sure I'm not leaving any high spots. Now, again, your first initial wipe, you're not trying to get everything. Don't panic if you've got some streaks, if it looks like this. Now, a high spot, just for some analysis or a visual here. That's what a high spot would look like, and you definitely don't want to leave that. So you always want to ensure you're checking it. Use a well-lit area, use a headlamp, use whatever the heck you need to use to make sure you're not leaving high spots. It's also nice when your towel starts to get a little bit loaded up here. You can always flip to a fresh side. You've essentially got 8 different sides of this towel. I'll grab my second one here, come in here right with the tip, start on the edges, get all of those little areas. Boom, very straightforward, very, very easy coating to use. So let's flip over now to Armor Detail Supplies glass coating. I'll show you the install, see and tell you how it compares, and that'll be our video. Same exact process here. We're gonna have our first initial wipe, second wipe, we've got our applicator, we've got our glass coating. Again, you wanna make sure you're gonna shake this up. We're going to apply 3 lines of coating in here, just like that. Boom, that should be good. Put the cap on over here. We'll take these off. Now, Armor Detail Supplies says here that they want you to work in a circular motion. They specifically state that. So once this coating is on there, just like Adam's, it is pretty much ready to go. Somewhat similar smell here, but definitely a little bit different. You can already tell it actually looks a little bit different. You can see it's almost giving a more sweaty type to this instead of that colored rainbow that you get, that more oil slick look on here. The other one will kind of beat up also. So I just applied a few more drops there. Once you kind of get your applicator primed, it'll go a lot quicker, a lot easier. You'll use less product. So there is no cure time needed. We can simply come right in here, wipe it away. So actually very different wipe off, it feels like a little bit. You can see it's a little bit more streaky than the Adams, but our first initial wipe, just trying to get 95% of it. We are not trying to get the entire thing here. So I'm gonna continue working my borders. Then as you guys see, I'll leave it kind of streaky like that. You can see a little bit of a haze. Boom. Then we wipe that down with our second side. Feels a lot better there and looks really, really crystal clear. So both of these coatings, you guys should know, are not coatings that just sit on top of your glass. These actually penetrate the pores of your glass, which is why they have such great durability to them. I have found the Adams one lasts way longer than 9 to 12 months, but just going off of their claimed durability, I think that's pretty realistic. ADS here clearly has a little bit higher or longer term durability, which I think is completely and totally fine. So I'm going to come in here, we'll wipe this down, and work in straight line motions here for our second wipe. If you need to though, make sure you're getting into those corners like I was teaching you on the Adams. Kind of pull it back out into the center of the glass. Boom. And that is our coated windshield. So I'm going to go ahead and do our second layer here, but very straightforward. I'll also show you a side window just so you can see what that looks like. All right, guys, so just wanted to show you this. I am struggling a little bit when it comes to actually leveling down this coating. Now, understand some of these marks are actually on the inside, but I want you to focus down here. So see how you can still see some of the coating remaining. I continue to wipe this, flip this over with fresh sides. The ADS coating, especially on the second layer, is a little bit more annoying to actually install. Now, as I continue to wipe this down, you'll see it go away a little bit, but it is still just kind of pushing it around. So I'm really kind of struggling to get it perfectly streak free. Again, some of this is actually inside the glass there, but just got to work it a little bit more. I will tell you, the Adams is very much single wipe type situation. This is a very, very, very straightforward coating to use. And you can see the glass perfectly clear there. Again, still need to clean the inside, but very different there. So honestly, very much prefer how the Adams installs. That doesn't necessarily mean I prefer that coating in total. If this one lasts a little bit longer, then I might suggest that. If they're relatively the same, I would definitely tell you to go with Adams graphene glass coating. All right, guys, so I want to show you a quick demo here on this back glass so you can see how easy or uneasy it is to actually wipe off. Again, I think it was really the second layer that caused it to be a little bit goofy there. other than that, I mean, the coating came off really nice the first time, but that second layer a little bit more annoying. So let's come in with a fresh side of our glass towel. Again, remember that's instantly cured. Hopefully you guys can somewhat see the light. So that's just kind of a first initial wipe. You can still see quite a bit of high spots. I really want you to focus on this area down here with that light. And the more I look at it, yeah, the more this stuff is streaking a little bit more than the Adams. So I would definitely tell you guys, if you're looking for just a really no fuss, no mess, easier install, I would definitely say the Adams is a little bit easier. Just still noticing a little bit of streaking here. Again, not trying to get it perfect this second, but it's definitely feels like a little bit more work there. So we're gonna come back in with our second towel. Still noticing some streaking here. So with the Adams, this would be perfect now. I would just basically hit the corners. There is really no way to really wipe the Adams. It is just boom, easy off, easy is. So, pretty interesting there. I think that'll play into the long-term review, of course, of how complicated it is to install. It's not a bad install here, but just after doing the Adams, that's a very, very easy coating to do. This one takes a little bit more finesse, a little bit more wiping. So definitely be diligent of how you fold your towels here to always keep those fresh, clean sides. So we'll continue moving on. I'll coat the rest, and that'll be our video. All right, guys, so final thoughts here between Armor Detail Supply's glass and Adams graphene. Honestly, I think the graphene is still an easier, more approachable product. That's not to say that Armor isn't. Just takes a little bit more finesse, a little bit more work, a little bit more of what I've been used to with glass coatings, getting a little bit more streakiness. I've always been impressed by Adams graphene. If you haven't tried it, it is literally one, like I said, it is almost idiot proof, where I do feel like the Armor Detail Supply takes a little bit more effort. Now that doesn't mean to say that Adams is a better coating. In fact, I would probably argue the opposite here. I think Armor Detail Supply's glass coating is probably going to last a little bit longer. Feels like it has a little bit more solids in it, meaning that it's a little bit harder to actually remove, technically a little bit harder to install. But I should say, don't take this as Armor Detail Supply is hard to install. It's not. It's very, very straightforward. You just have to be a little bit more diligent, and there's nothing really wrong with that. It's just, again, wanted to make the comparison here. So that is our test. Our EV6 here is now completely coated with 16 different ceramic coatings on it. That's pretty crazy. So stay tuned for some upcoming videos. Really, really excited to share this entire series with you guys. I'm curious to see what you guys want. If you want, you know, a glass coating only review, if you want a paint only coating review, a wheel only coating review, or if you want them all in one so you can see how everything is doing. Happy to do it any way you guys want. Also, let me know the frequency you would like to see this. I've been doing and getting some feedback from you guys. Seems like we're a little split. So some people are saying, I don't really want to see it all the time. Some people are like, every time you watch this, I want to watch that and see how it's doing. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in another one soon. Bye-bye.